Since we learn the basics of variables, math, and tables, it's only natural we learn more math along the way. If you've gotten this far, you're probably not afraid of a little math, so I'm going to go over functions. These work similar to those in algebra in that you call a function and you receive a value from it in return. However, you don't necessarily receive only one value if you're wanting to get more from a function. You don't necessarily need a return value with every function sometimes. You can use functions to block off certain parts of code from running automatically. This allows you to call it from anywhere below the function you define. This helps reduce repetition, and you can call certain functions whenever you need to use them. To create a function, you'll need to type local function and then add whatever you're going to call that function, open and close parentheses, and then press enter. If the script editor doesn't already add an end after the function, then you'll need to add it. End tells the computer that the function ends at that point. Anything after that point is not a part of the function, and the computer will stop running that function at that point. Now let's add a statement in our script to call the function once the game loads. You do this by taking the function's name in parentheses and putting it at the portion you want to call it from. For every local function, the function call must be below the function. Global functions without the local portion attached, don't have this issue, but you shouldn't use them for the same reason as global variables. You can add values inside of function calls in order to pass information to the function. You can pass any value you want, and each value must be separated by a comma. For the function to receive that value, you'll have to add words to the parentheses of the function for each value. You can call your receiving values pretty much anything because what this is doing is creating a new local variable to store that information received from the function call. If you like to receive information from the function, you create a new variable and set it equal to the function call. Then you use the statement return, followed by the value you want to send back. You can put this return statement anywhere in the function, but if it is called, it will end the function at that point. Now let's go over the exceptions I was talking about in an earlier video on local variables. Defining a variable at the top outside of a function allows the variable to be used from anywhere in the script. However, defining a local variable inside of a function can only be seen in that function. Therefore, if you want to change a variable that all parts of your script can see, you'll need to define the variable at the top of your script and just modify it inside of the function.